And what did the record be said? 7-5. If they finished it, we'd be happy with. Yeah. Well, Stacey, if they beat the Red Sox in that series, they'll finish 7-5. And honestly, I'll take that.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. He's Brian McKeon. We've been hosting the show together since 2024. I've been hosting the show 7 years in total, basically all of Aaron Boone's tenure. And boy, oh boy, is it a long 7 years.
Lucky you.
Yes, very lucky. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So download the app today. Coming up on today's show, we'll preview the pitching matchups for the series against Boston, which begins tonight in Boston. Yay, another one. And it's Fan Mail Friday, so we'll be answering your burning Yankee questions. But first, the Yankees salvage the finale against the Tigers. And it was nice to see the Yankees punish Tigers pitching instead of the other way around. Yeah,
fairly dominant win, pretty much smooth sailing from the start of this game. So that's a pretty good sign for the Yankees to finish out this series. They still lose the series, but still a nice finish to the series. We've been talking about this 12-game stretch for a while, where it's I've been calling it the most defining 12-game stretch of their season. Not the most difficult, but definitely the most defining. And they're now currently 5-4. And what did the record be said? 7-5. If they finished it, we'd be happy with. Yeah. Well, Stacey, if they beat the Red Sox in that series, they'll finish 7-5. And honestly, I'll take that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how you get there. It matters that you did it. And I'll be happy with that. I'm also really, really satisfied with the Cam Schlittler bounce back performance in this game. 6 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 2 earned, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. That gives me a lot of confidence. I'm really happy to see that, because after that poor performance the last time, young pitchers, you don't know where they're at mentally, how they're going to bounce back from things. He truly bounced back in the best way possible, an overly dominant win. So pretty satisfying end to a series that really didn't go their way.
Yeah, and against a playoff team. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly what you want to see.
So let's briefly talk about the offense, because we have to get into Fan Mail Friday. But Aaron Judge hits 2 home runs, and he ends up tied with Joe DiMaggio on the all-time Yankees list at 361, which is amazing, because he's already he's into the top 5 now. And he kicked
that is incredible.
Yogi Berra out of the top 5, right? Isn't that how that works?
He did. Yeah. So that is overwhelmingly incredible. Also, the fact that Giancarlo Stanton missed a majority of the season in his 20th home run of the season. And it's outrageous how good he's been.
Did you happen to see how he hit that ball? Because he
demolished it.
Reamed that ball. Like the sound of it off the bat.
There's almost nothing like watching him square one up.
Really?
It's beautiful.
It really is. So his 20th of the season, his 449th of his career. So the Yankees now have 7 players with 20 or more home runs on the season, which is tied for second most in Major League history. The only team with more, and I'm always shocked when I see this, even though I know it happened, the 2019 Twins.
It really was so weird. One question for you on the Stanton thing. 449 in his career right now. Does he get to 500?
Ooh.
See, I'll say this. I think it's a relevant question, because I think if he gets to 500, that pretty much makes him a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that would be something. I mean, he just has to stay healthy, which is not the easiest thing for him to do.
If he stays healthy, though, I mean, there's no way he doesn't get there, right? I mean, just right. From being available, he's 35 years old, though.
Yeah.
It's dicey.
Yeah, but
I want to say he gets there.
I think if he can figure out a way to be able to be the DH and hit the ball, because I know he likes to hit the ball when he's playing the field, but he's been the majority of the time he's been the DH for the Yankees while Aaron Judge is playing in the outfield. But I think health-wise it would be better for him to DH, and I just would like for him to have 2 solid seasons, 26 and 27, and maybe he hits 40 in those 2 years. And then at that point, they'll be like, all right,
They'll give him a 1-year deal for $9 million and come hit your 500th in the Yankees.
Yeah, come try and hit 10. Yeah.
You know, I don't think on that point, I don't think anybody in their right mind would have thought Giancarlo Stanton would get an extension with the Yankees after his deal ended. But hey, who knows?
Yeah. One more thing. Jazz Chisholm with his 300th career RBI, 95 of which have come with the Yankees, and he's 2 away from a new career high, which is cool for him. And big ups to Ryan Yarbrough, who saved the bullpen by pitching the last 3 innings, only gave up 2 runs, which is much better than what the bullpen has done the previous 2 nights. So well done by Ryan Yarbrough.
And now they have all their arms for Boston. So great work.
Yep. All right. So it's time for Fan Mail Friday. If you're new to the show, we do this every week. We answer your burning Yankee questions. And every week we start with our Locked On Yankees insiders. We'll tell you about that a little later in the show. And we always start with Betty. So here is Betty's question. Assuming enough players actually show up these last games to make the wild card, do you think we can advance? And do you think Boone's horrendous bullpen management has ruined them?
Can they advance? Yeah, they have the talent. We've been saying this. That's why this team is so frustrating when they lose games, because the talent is obviously there. It's just a matter of, are the decisions going to be made? Has the Boone's management ruined the bullpen? No. Can it? Yes. That's where I'll leave that.
Yep.
Stacey, David F. asks, David Bednar has been a workhorse since coming over at the deadline, often pitching in high leverage and multi-inning situations. Do you think this heavy workload is a sustainable strategy for the rest of the season?
I'm kind of hoping he doesn't have to pitch that much. Like, I really want him to be a 1-inning closer. I don't want him to have to come into the 8th with only 1 out to go. Like, I just want him to not be tired by the time the playoffs start, because you need your closer.
It's interesting saying, do you think the heavy workload is sustainable for the rest of the season? It has to be. Well, it better be. They've dug themselves this hole. They got to crawl their way out of it. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, is it sustainable? They need to make it sustainable. And if it's not, you better figure out how it can be.
Right. Our next question is from Insider Adam. I haven't asked a question for a while, so I hope this makes the cut. What does the remainder of the regular season look like for us? What games do we need to win to set us up well for the playoffs?
You have to take 2 out of 3 against Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the most pressing. And you have to, when you play the weaker teams, you have to beat them. There's no excuse. You have to beat them.
They have 7 left with the Orioles. They have 3 with the Twins, 3 with the White Sox.
Yeah.
So you're not exactly murderer's row in front of you.
Although the White Sox have been playing really well.
And the Twins actually, since the deadline, have not been as bad as you'd expect. But still, they're very beatable. I have my confidence they'll win their fair share of games. Like, they're going to lose a couple games in those series because that's just how baseball works.
Right.
They'll win their fair share of games in those series. They will. It just is going to come down to, Stacey, what are they able to do in this Red Sox series? It's a big one, and it's gonna. If they win this series too, it gives them a lot of confidence going forward when it comes to dealing with the Red Sox in the postseason, because in all likelihood, they're going to play the Red Sox in that first wild card series, and you need to finish at a better record than them because you want those 3 games in the Bronx.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's the goal. Let's hear from Matt V. He says, how much of the struggles do you think fall on Judge? He doesn't seem like the leader we thought he was going to be. Jeter led the team like he was Optimus Prime. I don't get the same vibe from Judge.
From Optimus Prime. That's one of my biggest knocks on Judge. Like, we don't know what goes on in the locker room, but I think that it feels like if Derek Jeter were on this team with the amount of talent that there is, I don't think he would be accepting of the way they play for 2 months straight. I think it would drive him absolutely bonkers, and he would do something about it.
I don't know if the slumps would occur. But keep in mind, Judge isn't the most vocal leader out there in the public.
Right.
And Jeter wasn't either.
Right.
Jeter wasn't this public rah-rah kind of player either.
But he did, when it was appropriate, during post-game interviews, would call out. Yeah. He would speak up more. Where Judge is like, yeah, we didn't win the first 2, so we'll have to like he's too passive for me, even in his answers. Like, I'd like to see him get a little angry. He doesn't have to get crazy, but I would like to see him be a little more serious and be like, yeah, we really have to step things up. That's all you have to say.
I will say, it is a different generation. That's not really how a lot of guys handle things anymore. Not that it's right or not that that's a right or a wrong or an excuse for it, but it is a little bit of a different generation on the way that guys are in the locker room and stuff. Still, I would like to see Judge be a little more publicly angry and forceful with his comments, because he is the leader of the team. He was given the C by the owner. He has the right to kind of make those comments. And the fact that he doesn't is kind of frustrating, but I don't love the Jeter comparisons, because he's not Derek Jeter. They're different players. They play different positions. They're different kinds of players, and they can also be different kinds of leaders. Yeah. You know what I mean? If the Yankees, this is as simple as this, Stacey. If Nestor Cortez isn't brought in one of the dumbest managerial decisions of all time in last year's World Series, and the Yankees somehow win that World Series, we're talking about how great of a leader Judge is.
Right.
So it is different, and honestly, they'd have a pass for this whole year.
It's also not just Judge, because he's the captain. Sure, you have Cole, you have Stanton. You know that those guys speak up in the locker room when things are happening.
Goldschmidt, Bellinger, like there's plenty of veterans here.
Stanton basically threatened them and said, if I see you wearing the American League Championship ring, like he basically threatened their lives. And I know they all listened to him. They're probably like, okay, all right, Big G, we won't do that.
For as much as the fan base wants to boo Giancarlo and stuff, he has a tremendous amount of respect in that clubhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, yes and no. I think some of it falls on him. I just want him to be a little fired up. I just want him to not be so passive. And he doesn't have to scream. He just has to say, yeah, we have to pick things up. Like, these are important games. Just say that. Like, people would just like that and be like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And then people will get, like, pumped up, like, okay, they know what they have to do, instead of this, oh, it's right in front of us.
I think that's the perfect answer. That was the same thing that you just said. It's a yes and no answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, I would like to see him be more aggressive with the media too and stuff too. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge that the Jeter comparisons aren't fair, because he's not Jeter.
Right.
They're different players.
Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, and hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also listen to us on every podcasting platform available. And we have a TikTok, so follow us there at @LockedOn_Yankees. Coming up next, we have more Fan Mail Friday questions from our insiders and our YouTube viewers.
You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There are so many products out there, and it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. And that's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people, and it's not just the hype. This is a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with their proactive approach. The best part, it's easy. You take 4 pills with a meal, and there's no prescription that's needed. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code one word, LOCKEDONMLB. Stacey, we keep rocking and rolling on this Fan Mail Friday, and we'll lead segment 2 off with Chris F. He asks, as of today and not knowing how we finish, what are your top 3 offseason priorities and why? Love the pod and keep the fire going. From Chris 40.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not really thinking about the offseason. Is that bad of me? I'm just worried about what's happening now. Like, I'm not even thinking about offseason priorities right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'm not thinking about it either. Briefly, I'll tell you, figure out who your long-term catcher is. Is it going to be remain Austin Wells, or is Ben Rice going to take over? And if Ben Rice takes over, figure out a long-term first baseman and make a decision on Bellinger or Grisham.
Right.
That's what we'll give you for now. But there will be a lot of off-season deep dives from me and Stacey. We're just not there yet. We're not ready emotionally.
Right. No, definitely not. Next question is from Insider Ethan. This is an interesting one. What state do you think makes the best baseball players? I have
obvious.
an answer.
It's Florida.
See, I have another answer to this, because it's changed, obviously, but I remember that there was an article out, I want to say it was 7 or 8 years ago, maybe more than that, but the amount of guys from Virginia who became baseball players and good baseball players, like I was not shocked by Virginia, but I kind of was in a way, because I always thought like Florida, California, Texas, like I wasn't really thinking Virginia.
Florida produces a psychotic amount of Division I college talent. And in all sports. It's absolutely insane. The amount of tennis, football, baseball, basketball players that come out of Florida. I don't know. They don't play more sports down there. People used to credit it with the fact that sports can be played year round down there because of the weather.
That makes sense.
Whatever it is, they produce a crazy amount of talent down there. It's nuts. I don't know what to put in the food. A new insider of ours, Stacy Malika, asks, in honor of Rizzo's retirement, can you share a favorite moment of Rizzo as a Yankee? That is a tough one.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite Rizzo moment as a Yankee. Is that bad of me? One of my favorite Rizzo moments that I've ever seen is that clip that they show all the time when he's chasing Freddie Freeman in a rundown and he's screaming Frederick at him. I just think that's so funny. I really do. He was a Cub when that happened, but I just thought that was so funny.
Couple of really good stories from Rizzo, especially behind the scenes, if you want to look those up. He was such a great leader with that Cub team. I'm glad he retired as a Cub, because he is a Cub. He's not a Yankee. Like, I mean, he was a good, nice Yankee for a couple of years, but he's not a Yankee. He's a Cub. So I got to be honest with you, Malika. I don't have a crazy big Anthony Rizzo story for you. I kind of wish I did.
Yeah.
But I don't have a big, crazy Anthony Rizzo story for you. He didn't do much as a Yankee, to be honest.
I'm trying to remember. Did he have any walk-off hits as a Yankee?
Not that I remember.
I don't remember either.
I'm sure there were a few big home runs, but nothing that I like specifically remember that deeply.
Yeah. Yeah. So my favorite moment is him as a Cub screaming Frederick at Freddie Freeman.
It's great. Heckle,
Also, I think, didn't he pitch one time too? They had him in.
He did pitch for the Cubs. And he struck someone out too.
Right. And embarrassed them. Yeah.
Yeah. He also famously, during the rain delay of the World Series, apparently gave a really good speech nude in the clubhouse, and that galvanized the troops because they were all laughing at it. Swear to God, look it up. It's a story. And it made everyone.
He does like twerking. He did that on SNL after the Cubs.
Apparently, it loosened everybody up and made them laugh and relax a little bit because they had blown that lead before the rain delay. Rajai Davis. So apparently, off Aroldis Chapman. So he's the de facto captain of that Cubs team. Not officially, but he's the de facto captain.
Yeah. All right, so we have our last insider question, and we're combining it with our first YouTube question because one part of the YouTube question is asking the same thing as the insider question, so I figured I'd combine them. So, insider Eric S. asks, should the Yankees try to sign Bo Bichette in the offseason? And then YouTube viewer Jason Taratz, do you think the Yankees should leave Devin Williams off the playoff roster so Boone won't be itchy to use him? It's not like we're resigning him next year. And should the Yankees go after Bo Bichette next offseason and trade Volpe?
Multiple answers here. Should they leave Devin Williams off the playoff roster? No, they need the arm, honestly. Yeah. They need the arm. And Boone's going to be itchy to use him, and he's going to use him. The organization's in line with Boone using him too, so there's no chance that happens. I know you can dream all you want, but The Bo Bichette one is a two-part answer. If you don't like Volpe for his poor fielding, Bo Bichette is just as bad of a fielder as Volpe. Bo Bichette's fielding has been terrible this year. I don't know what Bo Bichette's going to wind up signing for. He was in line, Stacey, for to be the next guy with a $200 million deal, and he's nothing close to that now. So I don't know if the Yankees are going to be all over that. Maybe for like a 3-year deal if they want to. I can see them being in on that for sure. Trading Volpe is fascinating because what are you getting for him right now? He has no value in the open market whatsoever. So, I mean, you can trade him. Sure, that sounds good, but for what?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a very, very difficult, complicated question to answer right now.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten into, we didn't even touch upon the Volpe news that came out on Thursday that the Yankees have, I almost feel like we need to do a bonus show this weekend to talk about it because I have so much to say about it and we can't fit it into this show.
Yeah, we may wind up doing that at some point. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah.
Thomas OT3KI says, can you tell me what pitchers are free agents next year? And do you think Williams will be back, or do you think they will try to trade him? Cole will be ready 100% by opening day, right?
I think Cole will be back by May or June. I don't know.
Yeah, I think June. I think June. They're not gonna push it. There's no need to.
No, definitely not.
Williams will not be back.
He won't be back, and they're not going to trade him because he's a free agent, isn't he? Williams?
Yeah, he's a free agent, and there's no chance that he'll be back.
Yeah.
Unless he's willing to come back for an absurd discount, like $8 million a year. Someone's going to give him like $16 million a year.
Yeah. Like someone's going to think we can fix him.
Yes, exactly. And the pitching market for starters is not strong at all.
Right.
So don't get your hopes up.
Thank you, Thomas. Our next question is from Joey Patton, 8592. Do you think a sports psychologist or hypnotist could help some of our players like Williams and Volpe? They have the talent. I believe their confidence is shot.
For sure, it's Volpe. I'd be shocked if he wasn't speaking to a sports psychologist at this point. I mean, they've got them readily available. A lot of the sports psychologists are hired employees by these teams now. Like, they're always readily available for these guys. So I highly doubt Volpe hasn't spoken to one at this point. Honestly, if he hasn't, shame on him. Like, he should be speaking to one at this point. Williams, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's a confidence thing. Because when you hear Williams speak, Stacey, he doesn't speak like a guy that's lacking confidence in his stuff.
Right. Like, it's
and he
almost
still
like
calls his own stuff.
Like, he seems like he's shocked that the results aren't what he thinks they're going to be. Yeah,
and he's famous for in Milwaukee calling his own game, and he's still doing it in New York. He hasn't given up that right. So I don't know what it is with Williams. I don't know if it's a psychology thing though. For Volpe, it for sure is.
Yeah, I think so. With Volpe, you could just see it in his body language sometimes. I think they need to hire Dr. Sharon from Ted Lasso. Too bad she's not a real person, but she'd be awesome.
I'd be stunned if Volpe hasn't already spoken to one of the Yankees team psychologists. Stunned.
Yeah. Coming up, more Fan Mail Friday questions from our YouTube viewers, and we preview the pitching matchups for the big series between the Yankees and Red Sox in Boston next.
The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure that you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however I like to bet whenever I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling. I can get into player props, building same-game parlays, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. I actually just hit a plus 900 same-game parlay on the Thursday night football game, and it was all worth it using my favorite app for sports betting. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on the fantasy lineup. And also, it's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little more energy to your Sundays or Thursdays or Mondays or Saturdays. It's available always. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Not only do we cover your team every day, but now we're giving you instant episodes after every single game. You can check out the Locked On Yankees Postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman, and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It also streams on our YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees Postcast. Stacey, we close it out for this week with our remaining Fan Mail Friday questions. Let's go to Mark Carpentieri. I'm guessing that Jason Dominguez isn't going to be starting any of the remaining games. The Yankees feel that he is a detriment to the team, but they don't feel Anthony Volpe is.
I think starting-wise, yes, but I think Dominguez could still contribute to the team because he runs the bases so well. And if they need someone like in late innings, if Stanton gets a single, but they need a run, and they already have Caballero in the game, they can put Dominguez in there to run for Stanton. You know?
Yeah, and this will be discussed at much further length, but it is beyond frustrating that Dominguez just doesn't get playtime anymore because they don't like the way he bats against lefties. But Volpe plays 24/7.
Yeah, and you would think that he'd be maybe like down, but he sees his teammates get hits, like especially the teammates who were playing in his place, and he's cheering as hard for them as he would cheer for anyone in the dugout. So I like the makeup of this kid. I think he's going to be fine. I think that, again, he does have a place. It is frustrating that they're not giving him much of a chance, but hopefully things will get better for him next season.
I'm just rooting for equality, Stacey.
I can't believe I snorted on the show. Okay. Next question. Kevin Sweeney, K5C. The Yankees bullpen is awful, and bullpens often determine how well teams do in the postseason. Which of the contending teams do you think have strong bullpens?
I don't think. I know. 0 of them. None of them have good bullpens. It's insane. It's the craziest year I've seen when it comes to bullpens just being horrendous. Even the Padre bullpen lately has been terrible. And they have like this unhittable bullpen. Their bullpen's been awful. The Dodger bullpen's been awful. The Brewer bullpen is not nearly as stacked as it's been in years past. The Met bullpen is horrible. The Phillies bullpen is awful other than Duran. The Red Sox, Whitlock's been good for them. Chapman's been unhittable. Other than that, their bullpen stinks. The Blue Jays bullpen stinks. The Tigers bullpen stinks. No one's got a good bullpen. So I that's the one concern I don't have with the Yankees is the fact that no one else's bullpen is good. So why am I going to be that worried about the Yankee bullpen?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that something happens with the bullpen where the guys that you're just like, oh no, when they come into the playoffs, like flip a switch like David Weathers did in 96, where you're like, oh God, why are they bringing this guy in? And he was like throwing shutdown innings. So I'm kind of hoping that I hope they step it up in the playoffs. That would be great.
Roy Wilcox I2Z says, what is your feeling on signal stealing by our team and the way they show it? As a Yankee fan 50 years, I'm kind of sick of this year. They really, if that is the only way you can win, they don't try. Also, do you see them keeping Jason D in the offseason with Jones in the upcoming and Trent playing the way he is? I see them going after Belly for sure.
I don't think that sign stealing is the only way that they win.
No, not at all.
We're not seeing them flap their arms constantly during wins. It's just when guys are exposing their pitches, why not it's perfectly legal. Mark Teixeira used to do it when he was on second base. No one complained about it then. Everyone thought it was funny. So I don't understand what the big deal is. They're not tapping or they're not bashing trash cans in the tunnel next to the dugout. So I don't think
they're trading Dominguez unless there's some scenario where they can acquire a top tier shortstop from somebody else to replace Volpe, because Dominguez has a lot of value out there. I don't think they're looking to move Dominguez, to be honest with you.
Right. And I think they have to choose between Grisham and Bellinger, right? They can't have.
I think there may be a world where they get both. If they don't go after Kyle Tucker, which I don't think they're going to at this point. There may be a world they go after both, but I think it's probably like more of a 80-20 thing. 80% they're going to have to decide between one or the other, and 20 that they keep too. So I don't think it's likely they keep both.
Okay. And our last question of the week is from Casey Cotreau, 7050. If the Yankees were to move on from Volpe at short like they did Glaber, who would you like to see play at shortstop?
I mean, Corey Seager, Trey Turner. I mean, there's a million guys that I would love to see take that spot. But
realistically,
like, I don't know, because who's available? Like, who are they going to get? The names of years past are not there anymore.
But do they have to? I feel like they have other pressing needs other than shortstop right now.
Well, but who's playing shortstop?
Caballero?
Are they going full time with Caballero? He's never been a full time player. You're gonna all of a sudden give him that reign, that's risky. That's such a tough question to answer right now, Casey, because I don't know who's gonna be available, who's gonna be on the trade market, who's gonna be released from their team. You just don't know yet. It's too difficult of a question to ask right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for all of the Fan Mail Friday questions. You did great. There were so many of them that at first I was thinking, oh no, do I have to eliminate some? And then I thought, you know what? Let the show go a little longer than usual. It's fine. We don't get fined for this sort of thing. It's just every once in a while, if we have a long show, it's okay.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So let's preview Yankees at Red Sox. So just so you know, 3 different places where you can watch the games. Friday night is Apple TV Plus. Saturday is Yes. And of course, Sunday is an ESPN game, because God forbid the Yankees and the Red Sox play a Sunday game that isn't an ESPN game.
No, and I'm sure that game will end at 3:00 in the morning, as Yankees Red Sox games always do.
Yes, even with the pitch clock, it's going to end at 3 a.m. So Friday night, Giolito against Heel.
Yeah, Heel's numbers 3-1 with a 3.31 ERA. Giolito 10-3 with a 3.38. Giolito started the year off not too great, but has really turned it on since the All-Star break.
Bad to start, and he really turned it on. And I will say this: I love Lucas Giolito. I'm disappointed that the Yankees didn't go after him. I think he's smart. I think that he's a good pitcher. I could listen to him talk about pitching for hours on end. He's just, I wish he wasn't a Red Sox.
Agreed wholeheartely. Saturday's game is going to be a 4:10 game. That's your only yes game. So if you're looking forward to hearing the Yankee broadcast crew, that's where you'll get him. Max Fried, that's a 4:10 start, by the way. Max Fried, 16-5 with a 3.02 ERA. It'll be interesting to see if he can get that ERA below 2, back to below 2. Going up against Brian Bayo, who's 11-6 with a 3.12 ERA. His second really full-time year in the big leagues, and he's been awesome for them. He's been everything as advertised. Just a scary guy to have in front of that rotation behind Crochet.
Don't you wish that the Yankees pitching was flipped and it would be Crochet against Fried on Sunday night instead of Crochet against Warren? No offense to Will Warren.
But we're not really in that era anymore of like top tier pitcher to pitcher match. You used to see that when I was little. Like you would see teams move starters around, so you would get those top tier matchups. You don't see it anymore as often.
No,
kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, like we said, Sunday Night Baseball, a 7-10 start. Will Warren for the Yankees, 8-6 with a 4.22 ERA, going up against Garrett Crochet, who's 15-5 with a 2.57 ERA. He's got 228 strikeouts on the year already.
Amazing.
He's had such a great year.
Amazing.
What do you take as your favorite right now, him or Skubal for the AL Cy Young?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Skubal, but anything can change. By the way, it's funny how when the Yankees were about to play the Tigers and everyone was relieved that they weren't going to see Skubal, and then look at how that series ended up.
True. I think it's Skubal by a very slight margin, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close as well, but I feel like it's Skubal. But we'll see. Either choice is fine. They're both very good pitchers, Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see who wins that. I think Judge is probably locking up the AL MVP because Rowley is just not consistently getting on a hitting roll late in the year. He's kind of running out of gas in a sense. So I'll say it out loud. I don't really care. But he's kind of running out of juice late in this season. So we'll see. Very interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, find the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this Fan Mail Friday edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys Monday.